My name is Corey Camden, and I work at a Wendy's.
My name's Edward Clay Travis, and I fix computers for a living.
Well, I started when I was maybe like 3. My brother's just like an 8-year gap between us, so they had more things than I did. Obviously, that makes sense. But they'd have like a PlayStation 1, and we had Mortal Kombat Trilogy on PlayStation 1. And for some reason, I don't know why, but we had 2 copies. But I would play those all the time, and that just kind of started from there. It was my favorite game to play, and we picked it up and just kept going. And I just got better and better, and I started moving on to different games as they came out.
I started playing, I guess you could say, in like arcades and stuff like that, but I was never any good. And then I would go to the arcade and lose like $6 to some random person because I couldn't handle losing. So I would run and go get more money and put it in the machine. There was one time that I lost so badly, I used all the food money my mom had given me, like $10 trying to beat a guy, and lost it in about 5 minutes. That was probably like going to the arcade was probably where I started.
Me. Okay. I mostly taught myself because I played by myself for the longest time. So I didn't really have people to teach me. Um, and then I would play. After a while, I ended up looking up YouTube stuff online to try to learn some stuff on how to play. Like I learned from a couple different YouTubers, but for the most part, uh, until I got to that, that was like all me. Like nobody really taught me anything. I don't do a lot of person to person fighting. I usually fight against AI, and I'll see what they do, and it usually helps me get a grasp, and I like improve on it from there usually.
Me and my brother would fight all the time, but there was a certain point that he wouldn't play with me anymore. I guess it just wasn't fun for him. But then Jordan Powell pretty much beat me up like at least 6 hours straight, and if I didn't get any better from that, it would have went on forever. But yeah, Jordan Powell was the person that really taught me how bad I was, and big humble pie. And then I learned pretty much everything I know now from him, and then built on top of that.
Hunter Malone is very high on my list. He was the funniest guy to fight. It was just you had to be there, man.
I play a lot of like just online to kind of test my mettle against random people. So I really like playing people I don't know. I don't really like playing with anybody specifically.
Fighting game character? Oh, I would say Mortal Kombat Sub Zero is my favorite character, but probably my favorite character to play would be I don't know. Like I like a lot of I actually like characters that have a lot of movement or like super weird movement. Like I can be all over the place, and like so I like M Bison like in Street Fighter Five because of his dash, and he had like a teleport V skill, and I thought that was really cool. And then there was I like Zato from Guilty Gear because of the negative edge. It's like such a different way to play.
Venom. He's one of my favorite characters. I've played a lot of Guilty Gear games. I've probably played maybe like 4 of them. Even the Game Boy Advanced one, he's always been my favorite character. That's kind of why I wanted to do all this, is I wanted to do that and beat Corey up. But my favorite character came back.
I don't hit a lot of buttons unnecessarily.
Well, I didn't know what spacing was for a long time, and then once I figured that out, because I played a pretty aggressive style of just not letting people play and thinking I was good for a long time. And then once I got past that, I was able to kind of let people either hang themselves or let me hang them, is the best way to put it. And then once you get used to doing that, a lot of people will just lose to you. A lot of them will just kill themselves.
Mortal Kombat.
It would have to be King of Fighters, but there's like 15 of them. It had to be one of the tag ones, which would be like 11 or something. Whichever one Oswald's in, that was probably my favorite. And I wasn't even good at it, but if I was to go back and play it today, I would probably really, really enjoy it.
I was told by two of my good friends that there was this guy in town who was pretty good. And I decided to go down there and see how good he was. And I got there, and we played a game called Dragon Ball Fighters, which was super fun. He would run tournaments and stuff down there. And I thought, like I had played all my friends at that time. It's one of those things where like you think you're good until you realize that there's definitely something missing, because he chewed me up, spit me out, put me in my place, and put me in a corner and just told me to sit there until I was out of timeout, practically. Like, he destroyed me. So I went back home, and I spent like forever practicing, and I started looking up videos on YouTube. That's where some of the extra training came in. And I came back and I joined a tournament, and I was definitely able to put up more of a fight. He beat me that time, but I was definitely a much better competitor and able to put up a better fight that time. And that person was Clay.
Well, there was this. I think it's been a long time, but I'm pretty sure it was Joe came into the store, and we got to talking about fighting games, and they kept bragging, or he kept bragging about how good Corey was, and that he had a guy that he knew, and that he would bring him into the store one day, and we'd fight. And I was like, okay. Because usually when people say, they have like, oh, my son is so good at a game, they're just so good, it ends up they have no talent. Or I'm trying to say it as nice as possible and not looking evil when I say it. But anyway, Corey came into the store with his posse of like 4 to 5 people. I'd never met him before, and I didn't know what I was getting into, and we sat down to play, and all I remember is winning. I don't remember how it went down or how easy it was to beat him. I just remember winning. But I was pretty nervous. I was shaking a little bit, but it didn't stop me from beating him. That's how I met him, though. He brought his posse in to fight me. It was a lot of pressure. I didn't know any of them. Like, the group of like 5 guys came in, and Corey was like strutting in behind them, and I had no clue what I was getting into. But I beat him. I just don't remember if it was a blowout or not, because I was more or less focused on just winning. I wasn't thinking about anything else.
Anything anime fighter wise, like, you could say everybody could say that they're fighting games, but to me, they're really not. Like, it's really not. Why don't you go over there in an anime? Why don't you go play some Naruto Ninja Storm 4 and tell me how you're about to fuzzy guard a mix-up or a tech throw or whatever? Tell me what you're about to do. Like, I don't know. Like, they're fun to goof off around and play with friends, but I can't really. When a friend's like, let's play a fighting game, and I'm like, yeah, and then they tell me it's Naruto or something, I'm like, why would you do this to me?
It would have to be one with a really, really low skill ceiling where you don't even have to try to play it. It would frustrate me if I put a lot of effort into my character and you just push one button and all that effort goes out the window. It'd probably be like Dive Kick or something like that.
I'm gonna see what he wants to play next, I guess. Hopefully we'll go on to Street Fighter. That was fun.
I don't know what I'll do if I win. I'll feel good about it for sure, but I don't know if I probably won't hold it over his head. But when people say, he's real good and they don't know I know him, I'll set him straight. I'll send him to the video.
My inner competitor wants to tell me, but it probably is him. A lot of the people will probably say it's me. A lot of the people will probably say that, but they also don't know what they're talking about. So, like, I love all the people. Don't get me wrong, but like, he's got more experience than I do. He knows more of the techniques. He knows more of. He knows like different. He knows more things than I know. I can like do certain things maybe a little bit better, but his knowledge is better, and I feel like it really depends on the game. Like certain games I could definitely win, but a lot of other games he'll probably just smoke me out of the water. I would probably go with him.
If we're in a tournament setting with an audience with money on the line, I'm better. But if Corey's in his home in his pajamas and real comfortable, I can't beat him.
I look forward to having a good match, and it's nice to have some competition and people actually want somebody to actually play a fighting game with me. It's really nice. Not a lot of people want to do that.
I got online and got a couple of coaches and things like that, and I don't think he's gone to the same extent that I have. I've listened to people who know what they're doing, and not that it'll make a difference, but at least I know, somebody's told me what to do, and we'll see what happens.